Hi. Hi. I'm the speaker. Okay. No, I didn't bring my suit, and I purposely um, wore this because I'm wearing this because I'd like to be construed as one of the delegates, and I think I fooled a few people here. Oh, he's the speaker. Okay. Hi. I promise you I'm older. Okay. I'm not 21. um, who who likes Paul Walker? Uh, huh? Are you guys fan of Paul Walker? And instead, why are you sad? You know, why does it affect you? Because he's guapo. He looks good. He said. She said, why? Champ. Because there's no more FF7. Any thoughts? Okay. Sorry, I asked the wrong person. Why? Okay, why? Let's see. Ah, so he died in a car crash. How many of you have tweeted, posted photos of him over Facebook? No. No? Why? You don't. You don't care. You're so busy with sustainable development. Sustainable development, you know. But the thing is, people in the Philippines, especially, uh, were were touched by his efforts, his gesture to be able to reach out to the victims of Yolanda, Hainan. And for me, it's such an interesting story. I don't know if it's true, if it's really true or not. But he went to a car show to be able to raise funds for the victims of the typhoon in the central Philippines, and he died along the process while doing the spins and somehow something like that. I was assuming that you guys know about that, but I can see faces, and I think I evoke certain emotions, and I can see you, and so on and so forth. Why is that? Why is that story something remarkable? Why is that story able to cause certain emotional reaction to you? Did it somehow touch you in some ways? And he died. Well, hopefully some money is gonna come to. No, I'm just kidding about that. But really, what is the difference between that story and our topic today, sustainable development? What's the difference? It's just damn boring. It's it's better to talk about Paul Walker and his except of course our friend here because she doesn't like. But there is a fundamental underlying thought or principle that you might want to pick up from that analogy. Um, we like to relate to things that touches our heart. Do you agree? We like real things, things that we can touch, things that we can feel, rather than abstract things like sustainable development. But unfortunately, you guys have to go through that trauma. No, I'm not gonna get you through that. But the point is, I wish if you talk about Yolanda, thing of people died 5,000. How many people died now? 5,000 and 10,000. Although the guy who said 10,000 was removed from was dismissed from his post because he was saying bad things about the typhoon. Anyway, but these people died, And they died because why? I mean, why? Because of that, is it really because of the typhoon that they died? Sorry? Because of the water, storm surge, and so on. But there has to be other reasons why they died, and why some other people survived. Correct? And probably you might say some of them are better prepared than others. Some of them have better homes, better houses, better able to withstand the winds of 315 kilometers per hour than others, which is why they perish. Those who didn't have the homes that could protect them. And if you look at it that way, it's no longer just about the typhoon and Yolanda. It's also about poverty. It's also about maybe access to livelihood, which is the result of, which results to being unable to build a strong house. It could also be a result of lack of education, corruption. Don't say that in the Philippines. You can. I'm just kidding. It can also be about, any thoughts? Luck, yes. Sheer luck. It or fate, you might call it. And karma, yes. Karma. How dare you? Please have this guy removed from this. No, just kidding. Okay, for your. What else? It could be also because people did not have a choice where they can build their homes. Some people were able to build in higher grounds, in grounds where it's protected by mangroves. Some people just need to go for fishing every day, that they chose to just build their homes there. And what are all of these things that I'm describing to you? These are issues relevant to how countries develop. And these issues are being told in manners of very abstract thinking that, sustainable development is about CO2. What? CO2? What do I care about CO2? Of course, you guys are bright enough to understand CO2, but some people are just so basic, fundamental in their thinking that these things doesn't matter at all. Our session this afternoon will help you try to figure out and understand the bigger picture and the story behind this picture of sustainable development. We are not going to talk about the issues bam, 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 which is so sad, poverty level, blah, 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 deforestation, and overpopulation, and so on and so forth. We are going to build a story. Okay? I would group you into 5 groups, and we would like to attempt to tell a story that relates to sustainable development. And we hope that by showing you my story, my own story, you will be encouraged to build your own story. Where's my remote? Okay. My story is about this guy. Can you tell if this guy is happy, satisfied, sad, mad, contented? Why? This guy lives in my province. I live somewhere. I grew up in the southern Philippines, but now I moved here for more than 10 years now, in northern Philippines. But this guy, I happened to share a few conversations with him, and he has a family. He has 3 kids. He's been planting rice. Who eats rice here? Every who doesn't? Okay. So he's been his occupation is he's been planting rice, and his biggest problem is that he has to control these little things. Okay, this is his problem, and he hates this guys so much because what these little things, and they call them stem borer, they eat the stalk. First, they are hatched as this. This mother here lays an egg mass of about 30 to 50 eggs there. And this guy, little guys, hatch into something like this. They bore into the stem and they could kill the rice. And that's his biggest struggle. So, well, what's the solution for that? Pesticides, of course. Things that can kill this, or this. Okay, so if it is in this level, you have to have a systemic chemical pesticide, and so that it will be able to kill this, because this is inside. This single egg mass, as I've said, has about 30 individual eggs. And these individual eggs could kill a bunch of rice. And if you have 5, 10, 1,500 of these, then it can wipe out an entire rice field, leaving this guy with a pout and kids hungry. So I had a couple of discussions with them and a few things about his problem. And I said, what can I do? I studied biology. Uh, how can I help him? Well, I told you his story. He sometimes would, he told me one of the drinking sessions we had, don't drink and drive. But he has been complaining about certain times where he would faint at certain times because of poisoning of this. And he would carry this heavy stuff there all around the farm. And that's a seemingly inefficient way of and these guys is only the harmful insects are accounts only for about 15% of the population of insects in a rice field. 85% are actually good bugs, you call it. So what this thing does is that it actually kills everyone, regardless of who you are. You're dead. So the thing is, after everyone is dead, there will be residual population of the hard-lined survivors, and they multiply so quickly, so much more than the other bugs, the other good bugs. So they tend to overpopulate and killing more, and as them spray, having to apply more chemicals. And that is his story. He had to deal this every time he would have to plant rice. So I said, wow, that's really bad. I mean, we have been going to technologies for nanotechnology to probe cancer into to kill cancer cells through nanotechnology, but we haven't really addressed a fundamental problem that concerns the food that we eat, right? We have been forgetting that we have been dealing with these things just like this. It's like you chase after one fugitive and you drop a bomb um, in the entire area just to kill that fugitive. How do you do that? How do you do that efficiently just to take out one or two fugitives, people who've gone against the law? Maybe you might consider this. So this is what went on in my mind. Okay, maybe there's a way. So I began studying, and I found these little guys, and I'm gonna show you what they do. No, it's okay. This is under a microscope. I told you I'm a biologist, a little geeky. So this guy lays eggs into. This is a pest egg. The egg I showed you, and this guy, look at that thing there. is trying to deposit something there, and and that is this bug. It's called Trichogramma japonicum. Don't want to bore you that with that, but it lays eggs there on the pest eggs, and what it does, and it's selective, it lays in the good ones. And when the eggs of these uh, will hatch inside the pest egg, it actually will live by the nourishment provided by this egg. And therefore, when this emerges, it will come out not as a worm, but as trichogramma. And this is the beauty of what nature provides. This is a natural system that enables us to control the pest population without having to kill everyone, right? So, okay. By the way, this is not new. I didn't invent this, but I've got come across with things like this, and I built a bioreactor, a plant that is able to produce some of this and be able to sell them. And this is a millimeter. This is a ruler. Be able to sell this to these farmers. And lo and behold, voila, they are using it, and for half the price of what they spend for the chemicals, they're able to, well, these are just other stuff. They're able to control the pest. And so with the other kinds of pests, like this is being killed by this is being killed by this, and so on and so forth. Okay. So the crops would grow without being eaten, and without the farmer being able to kill all the insects, and all the insects that are good are helping the crops to survive by killing the other pests, other kinds of pests. So then the result was, I did the numbers. I also am a geek, so don't. So, so they are able to save not just on the pest control but also on the fertilizer, and they save about this much for every hectare. That's about that's more than half. Okay, so these are the benefits and so on, and that is the story of this guy. This guy is smiling because of that. Now he no, these little things did the job for him, and killed all, and he was sitting there just watching the guys do their job. And now he harvested way beyond what he used to harvest with far less cost, and be able to feed more people with safer food. And that is his story. You talk about sustainable development. No, it's not about sustainable development. You talk about this guy, right? This afternoon, I'm gonna stop talking because this is just the only presentation I prepared. What I want to do with you is to dissect this story even further. Sorry, to be able to, oops, to be able to try to figure out what went on in that exercise. So I have few things here, and you can help me tie together different sustainability issues. Can you guys pick any? If you pick any of these and just post it there. Four of you, five, six, seven, just pick and post it there. More? More volunteers? what I want you to do for the rest who did not help in for the rest who did not help in posting, what I'd like you to do is to trace. I want this. These are issues. Wow, you're. Are you guys engineers? Why does it have to be in that manner? You're so boring. Okay, can you maybe distribute that in some form and random form? Okay, that is more like a party. Yeah, you know, you guys are so boring. Oh, I don't. I don't understand why. Okay, so let's try to look at this. Can we started with the sustainability issue of this, right? What's this? Can you read it? Insect pests, right? And at some point, there's a decrease in soil fertility, there's ocean pollution, biodiversity, and so on that I must have mentioned or implied along with my story. Can you trace the relationship between all of these, and not relationship, the interrelationship between all these factors based on the story of that guy? We call it call him for now, Mang Pedro. Mang Pedro has this problem, right? Okay, few volunteers, maybe the lady who didn't like Paul Walker. Sorry, you have a name, please. What's your name? Sorry? Ikari. Come on, in front. Can you make few arrows that would link and maybe explain the whole and interrelationship? We have a pen? Okay. A few others can make why don't you stand up and come over if you cannot see? Don't tell me you have and make some connections and just draw a line to one issue and another. Yeah. Cause and effect relationship maybe, or I don't know. Problem solution. Volunteers? Ah, great. More? Come on, guys. There's no right or wrong answer here.
You know what? I've heard that ASEAN youth leaders are very active.
Yeah, but you might be tired now.
Oh,
It's okay. Please put your name on the line so I can identify. We're talking about responsibility here. If- no, there's no right or wrong. Please, everyone, just draw your line in the
those who will volunteer will get a free iPad.
free iPad, courtesy of Abby. Charger. Algal bloom. It's an algae that it's a there you go, eutrophication. Chuck, come on. Chuck Norris. Oh no, that's my time. Chuck Norris. Come on, guys. Are you tired or something?
Specialization.
Ano, major in traveling. I go to places. No, I'll talk to you later. I haven't really specialized.
Not yet.
Because I've been dealing with macro.
Macro pala. Sabagay, mas ano sir, mas madaming matutulungan pag yung macro. Plants, mga animals, gano'n.
More?
Sige, let's see.
Is there anything there that's on orphan? Doesn't have a family? I hope you have a reason for connecting those things, huh? Okay. Um, Now we're in a point where we no longer know which one is connecting one. There's a tendency of overdoing things. Okay. I'm gonna just point to an arrow, and I wanna ask maybe Christina to tell us why. Krishna. I don't have my glasses. Krishna, to tell us the relationship between these two things. Just few phrases.
Course, if you have a lot of health concerns, you get stressed, and then you'll have to die faster.
Very nice. Die faster. Okay. A curry. Huh? Sorry. A curry. A curry. So, A curry.
Health. I draw lines from health concerns to what was that?
Cost
Oh,
to health.
cost to health. Yeah, because like for the people who are living in poverty, because of the higher cost of healthcare service,
Welcome.
they can even cure small diseases which can be cured, but like they're slowly dying off the diseases that can't really kill them.
hmm So you said this has something to do with poverty as well,
Yeah.
and having high
Uh-huh.
cost.
And I also draw lines to higher price, higher cost of rice to health
Mhm.
problems, because it also like a little bit of it also is about poverty, because
Mhm.
we can see like a lot of people who can buy food, so that rice is actually very nutritious food for humans, and if they don't have money to buy them, like it
Mhm.
affects their nutrition,
Great.
and it brings diseases to them, so it affects their health.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Carrie. Um, I cannot read this. PJ. Pijong.
Water pollution, the effect would be algal bloom.
Ah.
In a freshwater body, the manifestation of a freshwater body is a green in color. That means there are a lot of natural food for the fish. Once it get stuck, the natural food there, it will turn into brown. That cause the algal bloom.
Mm-hmm.
So the effect of water pollution, once not drain the organic materials and produces ammonia and decompose there,
Mm-hmm.
the result will be algal bloom.
Do you agree, Chuck? Do you agree with that? I guess so. Yes,
Sorry.
go ahead, please.
And another thing, with the high cost of inputs from the farmers,
Okay.
from the story of the farmer, they pour a lot of fertilizers and pesticides already in the farm,
Okay.
and they have to get profit on that material on the harvest.
Right.
So the higher cost of the rice, that would be the effect of the
Of
high
the-
cost of inputs
Of fertilizer.
of fertilizers of the
And
inputs.
what has fertilizer got to do with water pollution?
um Sir, is it a quiz bee?
Chuck, can you answer that, Chuck? What has more fertilizer input got to do with water pollution? Fertilizer to water pollution. Quiz B.
Well, I bet
Yes.
Louis should be the one who
Louis.
draw the line, right?
Okay, Louis.
First and foremost, I am not a biologist.
Okay,
So,
okay.
decrease in soil fertility is caused by nitrogen phosphorus influx. That's I
Okay.
I no what line? What line?
Okay.
Water pollution and
Water and lots of fertilizer.
That's
That's
No,
that's
I-
Louis.
no
Louis.
no, it's not mine.
Okay, come on. Help. Sorry.
I went to this place in Mindoro, somewhere in still here in Luzon, and there's this farm who uses a lot of fertilizer, and the farmer, the organic farmer that I met there told me that those fertilizers affects the bodies of water, like they go through the soil and it goes to the lake. And sometimes most bodies of water are affected as well if you use fertilizers on your farms. It affects your the water in your irrigation system as
A
well.
round of applause for that, please. Spoken like from the experience. We don't want that shitty chemistry thing going on. It's the experience tells us more stories. Pao, anything? You did, and okay, I'm gonna call names now. What's this? Destroys. Oh no, this is. What's destroys? No, just kidding. James. James, please. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, goes to health as well. Okay, we're missing the poverty somewhere here, right? And I'm sure you're perceiving that as well. Who else? Who else wrote? Yes, please. Who's 20B? 20B. Ah. You. Go ahead. Yes, champ.
Which connection do you want me to make? Any?
The one, yeah.
The one, because I don't remember anything. I think I made the connection between algae bloom and fresh fish pop, because obviously fish eat algae, and when they bloom in the river, there will be more fresh fishing popping. It's like a as opposed to baby bloom is fish bloom, I guess. So.
Yeah. Anything? Do you agree?
No? Oh yeah, I mean, oh.
I'm a farmer.
Okay, please.
Based on my experience, because I'm a farmer.
Okay.
Oh wait.
Algal bloom there is the condition of the water where it gets
Yes.
polluted.
Sorry. My bad. I think. Sorry.
But it's very, very interesting. I just told you a story, and that story has somehow given us these issues, and you're able to make stories and connections. But if I'm gonna trace this the way my mind works, if you would allow me, we started with insect pests, okay, that needed control, okay? And you need to have chemical pesticides, for that. And that result, the use of chemical pesticides actually makes the soil, it's not there, poor, not fertile. But you need to plant rice, and the rice has got to be given nutrients. Then you need fertilizer, and because you need fertilizer, then you need to spend for that. It will result to high cost of inputs. If that happens, then you'll have to sell the rice at a higher cost. When you use fertilizers, when you use pesticides, what happens to the quality of the rice, the produce? It will have residual chemicals in it. What happens to your health? This affects you. It doesn't just affect you, it affects the farmers. If a population eating rice do you know that those people, I've interviewed a lot of them, they have their own special plots, and then the bigger rice field. The bigger rice field, they spray so much chemicals, and then the smaller one, they don't. And that is for their food. The rest, they sell it. It should have high gains, sell it for the rich people to eat, because they have some sort of money to buy for medicines when they get sick. And that's how they think. So imagine eating this. And a population of 1,000,000 or 2 or 5 or 100 eating that kind of rice will have maybe a residual impact to, not to everyone, but maybe that 1%. That 1% will have to have healthcare costs that somebody will have to spend for. Right? And this will be in a tune of millions if you look at it. And okay, now more fertilizer will be from the farms will be swept away by the runoff water. It goes to the rivers. What does fertilizer do? It makes things grow, right? What happens to the population of algae with fertilizer? It increases in population. What happens to the population of algae when they all die? Because some sort of a life cycle, they become a pollution in the river, and because that pollution mass of algae will need more oxygen to decompose. It will take away the oxygen from the water. The fishes may lose oxygen, and therefore they die. Okay, so all of these things are somehow too far away from this guy's story. But you realize they are all connected to who? Mang Pedro is connected to everyone who eats rice, and that is you. You raise your hands. So everyone, if you look at sustainable development, is responsible for, will get affected by whatever any of those sectors will be doing. What agriculture is doing, what forestry is doing, what industry is doing. And it's very important for leaders in the future, hopefully you guys, we should be able to understand the interrelationship of all of these things. And we're just talking about one issue. This maze of things can also be interrelated with many other issues like population, like sex education. And I mentioned sex and you said what? And health disease and disease as a cost of healthcare in the country, and so on. But we said we're here to make a difference. We said we want a bright future, correct? We want a world with good food, with quality of life, good living spaces, good transportation, good education, and so on and so forth. That was my first slide. Okay? Imagine that as your vision, as your sort of story ending. That is how your story will end. Okay? And then imagine where we are right now. Okay? Where your countries are right now in terms of education, in terms of those many issues about deforestation, water, healthcare, and so on and so forth. We have an ending as a story, a bright world, where you guys are leaders in this community, where you guys are responsible for changing the way people do agriculture, or maybe reviving forestry industry, where we build homes that are climate resilient and earthquake resilient, and where there's no poverty and so on and so forth. That is your ending story. That is how the story ends, as far as we're concerned. We know where we are. You do? Do you? I'm sure you do, right? And we need a story that will help us get there. All right? We need maybe some sort of a better understanding of why these things are and how something can change this. Okay, I haven't. When back to this is a maze of stories, maze of issues. But you touch one, what happens to the rest? You touch them all. This is what that story delivered. Address this, no more need for fertilizer, because the soil will no longer, will we be able to decompose the organic matter, which will produce the nitrogen, the phosphorus and potassium that is needed by the plants, and so on and so forth. Then that guy is smiling because he did not have to spray those chemicals, and there will be no health issues and reduced higher costs and so on and so forth. What I want you maybe to look at where we are right now and find where you will dip your hands into to change the entire thing. That will be your story. That hopefully will end to a bright one. Let's imagine a bright one. Think about where we are. Find a way where to touch to get there. Are you up to that? Is that something interesting? Are you inspired to do that? Yes? Only a few people? Yes? Okay. This is your world. Remember, you are here for a reason. And that is because you have the privilege to be able to think this way. Nobody else, maybe it's not safe to assume that, but those of you who are, of your peers who were not here may have missed this opportunity. You have that opportunity to somehow shape the way how the future will be. And as young people, it's your job to think through what should change this to become that. All right? So this afternoon, let's spend 30 minutes. And it's okay. Let's spend 30 minutes. It's exactly in my time frame. And I will. Where's my? No, make it. So are we happy with that? Any thoughts? Thoughts that comes to your mind? Toby? Yes. Let's talk about my product later. It's like selling shabu. 5 grams.